Hello, hello, welcome to Mindset2Results. And today our guest is Eva Simone, and she helps women to develop that energy, take that, as Eva says, juicy energy out to the surface and be more, do more, and have more in this life. Hi, Eva.
Hello, hello. I'm so excited to be here. I feel so proud that you have me on today. I have so much information to share about the woman who really needs to emerge that side of her out because it's inside of her. It's that juicy, yummy, powerful energy that each woman has, but we don't know how to tap into it sometimes. That is what I do extremely well. Thank you for having me on today. I really appreciate it.
You're most welcome, and I'm also so excited about our episode. And I'm sure that so many women would like to know about what you do and hear from you and later connect with you. So, tell us a little bit about your story, how everything started. How did you discover your women juices that you took out to the surface?
Oh my gosh, this is a good one. So, as a young kid, a child, I've always been very girly. I love playing with my dolls and doing all of the girly things. But as I got older, I was kind of pushed into the world of doing things that was so different from who I was. And from there, I became like this strong woman who just was on the go, 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 go all the time. And I felt disconnected from myself. I didn't feel like I was home in my body. I felt like I was attached to the world, but not attached to me. I wasn't attached to the feminine energy that was, pulsing through my body, but I was trying to hold it down because I thought that I had to show up a certain way. So I became too heavy in my masculine energy, that go, 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 get it done, analyze, get all the things done. But I wasn't really into that nurturing side that was creative and was able to relax and really show up in a way. I was just in this strong power that was damaging to my well-being, is the truth. Until one day I said, this doesn't work. I don't feel home in my body. And I want to know why. So I challenged every thought that I had. I was like, why am I showing up this way when I feel better this way? So I shifted. I shifted and everything changed. And I became so calm, so confident, so filled with this juicy, yummy side of me that is so powerful. Yet I'm still a powerful woman that I can show up, but I can balance now both sides. One side was um, more damaging, but now I know how to take both and use them together.
Very, very great. So, what helped you to discover that another part of you, and what happened exactly that you decided to become that new, renewed person?
Well, when I would be around women who would get my attention, I would say that. And these women would exude this energy that they didn't have to say a word. It was just their truth. And I was thinking, I don't have that. I don't
Mhm.
have that. And I wanted to know why I didn't have it. But I did. I just buried it from all of the years of working so hard and just, disconnecting from my inner reality. My inner world was trying to get my attention. And what happened? I got sick. I went through a very difficult time of sickness, and it was like universal energy was tapping me on my shoulder, saying, hello, you're working too hard. You're being in this energy that is not your truth. Come back home, girl. Come back home. So one of the first things that I did, I started to dance a lot. And the dancing really allowed me to let go. I started to wear colors that were resonating with my soul, my deep soul, my reds and my pinks and my yellows. Those colors were really bringing me back home to this energy that was like my twin. Before I wasn't with a twin, I was fighting against this energy that was not me. But when I came home to my twin and we merged and we became one, Alana, everything changed. Everything changed.
Yeah, I think that so many women who are listening to us, they think, oh, how to find that twin energy? Yeah, so where should I start from?
Well, I started by slowing down, just listening to myself. Because I used to listen to what other people thought I should be doing and how I should be doing it. And when I got caught up into that energy, I was like, this doesn't work. And then I was fighting the system. So the first thing I did was I slowed down to hear what I was saying to myself, what kind of things were getting my attention. I remember one time in New York City, I was walking down, I think it was Broadway, and I was feeling the sun and really feeling the energy of people. And this one lady came through the crowd, and it was like the people parted for her. And she came in, she was elegant and filled with this energy around her. I could see this energy, this like exuding off of her. She was swaying her hips. She was in her body. And I said, that's it. That is it. I am going to now start tapping in and tuning in and turning on myself to tap into that energy. And it happened that fast because it was home. So once I changed my mind, and I have a degree, I have 2 degrees in psychology, one in industrial and organizational psychology in general. But what I was missing with these 2 degrees, I was missing that um, inner reality of my spirit, inner reality of in the energetics, the inner reality of organization. Because I was powerful in my own way, leading the way, doing things that were getting it done. But I was broken in the energy of being this juicy woman. So when I stopped and I recognized that my wholeness comes from aligning both sides of my brain. And the other part, the powerful component is our brains, we have something that's called neuroplasticity that helps us move forward. But we have to rewire ourselves in a way that we really develop these strong pathways of something different. Because most of the time we are running from an old, outdated program that happened from when we're a child or a teenager or whenever we thought we were in our prime of life. And that energy, that program still continues. So, what I do for women, I help them to stop, to stop the train from going too fast and derailing. And what I mean by derailing is when you come back home to your body, my friend, everything starts to balance out and to calm down. When you're not in the energy of who you are supposed to be, we all have someone that we are aligned, our soul's blueprint. If you're not aligned to that, things will just go crazy. And I had to calm myself to get back home to me.
Mhm. Okay, great. So you started to slow down to speed up. Yes, like
Yes.
first to slow down, to connect to yourself, to understand who you really are outside of those patterns which have been inherited and which have been uh, impressed on you through your childhood by parents, people who were surrounding you. So, what helped you to discover your inner self, who you really were and who you really are?
Well, I had a huge shift, and I considered it as the most difficult, the most beautiful experience of getting to know me. And when I got to know me, I said, "Oh," I started to really embody means allowing it to really penetrate every cell of my body, every cell of my being. I started to allow more and instead of or. So, and what that meant was, oh, I can do that and that. Oh, I can have that and this. So I started to expand myself. And when I started to expand myself, I was no longer in a consciousness. I call it the splat consciousness. And what that meant for me and the work that I do, when you're in splat consciousness, you are fragmented and you don't know who you are. It's like your energy goes that. You don't know who you are. So when you're in that energy, you don't come home to yourself. You're trying to find everybody to show you something and to tell you how to do all the things when everything is inside of you. If you just slow down and, as you said, speed up to listen, you become a whole different being.
Thank you for sharing. And I just thought that there are so many women uh, who are ambitious, who have big goals to achieve results in business, in career. So, and many of these women, they face challenges in their personal life. Let's speak a little bit about this, how these women can find that harmony. First, why it happens that they have challenges in this personal life, and how they can find that harmony to be successful in both in business and in their relationships.
Well, I can speak to this from personal experience because as a powerful woman and a leader in her own field, I also went through my own challenges with that. Sometimes as a powerful woman, you're moving forward so quickly. Your brain is wired to get things done. In your personal life, you don't know how to shut it off. So when you get home, it's still on the go. And that masculine side is still activated. I had to learn how to recognize when I was really in that powerful side, but understand that power is also being able to be submissive, but not submissive in a way that someone runs over you. No, no, no. We don't do that. But a submissive in a way that you can feel like, oh, the polarity that is needed right now is masculine and feminine. And feminine is my home. So I had to learn how to bring myself back to my body so that my partner could be in his masculine. So there's nothing worse to me than two masculine people showing up and then that power struggle goes on and then it's a hot mess. No, no, no. No, no, no. Powerful women, they must they have to, and I don't like to use those words that often, but they must balance themselves in order to really balance out their personal lives. Otherwise, it will turn into a power struggle, and somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose. And why do you want to lose? There's not many times in a day I need to be in masculine energy. There's not many times through the day that I have to reject my feminine energy. I just have to know when to use each one. And that was a game changer for me that I can say, no, I don't need to figure that out. I can just rest right now. I can A couple days ago, I was at a farm and I just sat out with the animals and just chilled. I didn't have to think about anything. I was just able to be in that energy so that I could clean up my vibration. Because sometimes when you're on the go, you get tired. I can clean up my vibration so that I could be this yummy woman. We don't allow ourselves that time. Then we become dried out. We become frustrated. We become, jacked up. We become all of these words that are the opposite of being yummy and juicy. Why would we want that? We are just not aware that we can balance ourselves out.
Yeah, thank you. So you said that you created your new self-image and you started listening to yourself and thinking who I really want to become, and you started creating your new self-image and tap into that new energy which you discovered in yourself. So let's speak a little bit about this, how to embody that new self-image and become that renewed person.
Oh, this is a beautiful question. I'm so grateful for this question. The first question is glow. The first answer is glow, like a smile. When you start to smile, people are like, hi, because normally we don't allow ourselves to feel good. It's like it's the plague if you smile. It's like if you like spend a day feeling good, it's like something is wrong. No, something is right. Something is right when you can radiate and glow from the inside out. When you show up as your highest self, and we're talking about the identity now, the shift. When I decided, oh, why am I smiling? Why do I feel good? Because there's a difference between smiling just to appease someone, but smiling from the inside, where you have made a shift that is so big and that is so potent, that is this powerhouse move on the inside, because you're now integrating your big self, big meaning that highest self. When I started to take little bits and pieces of what felt good to me. Okay, when I smile and I really mean it, when I look someone in their eyes and I can really feel their soul, when I talk and I share from a vulnerable place, when I am on the dance floor and I am feeling that music, girl, and I am swinging my hips, I am like, yes, this is me. This feels home to my body. But in the beginning, I didn't know how to incorporate it into my world. I didn't know how to incorporate it successfully where I can hold it and really be it fully. I had to let little bits and pieces of it emerge from me. And then when I did start to really blossom and just kind of like just like jump out, it was like, yes, what took you so long, Eva? But you don't know what you don't know. You don't know how juicy you can be, how playful and vibrant you can be, and be a powerful woman.
Would you like to share some techniques what you teach women who work with you how to practice this new role and being your new self, because it doesn't happen just overnight that you wake up and find yourself different. Because our self-image is very powerful and it dictates everything we do in our life. So it takes certain time and it takes certain techniques and um, something to do with your daily life to start seeing yourself that new person, and then from deciding who you want to become and becoming that person, it is period of time. Yes, it is doesn't happen just suddenly that you just decided, okay, from tomorrow I'm new person. Yeah, because it is transformation which needs some something new to do. Yes, some new habits.
Yes. So for me, it always starts with the decision. The decision, and then putting powerful energetics behind it. I call it 5-star inner work. And the reason that I call it 5-star inner work, because you have to be an inspector on your own brain. You have to be an inspector on every word that comes out of your mouth. You have to allow whatever thoughts that you have to come through, if they are not aligned to who you are becoming, you just let them go. Don't fight with them. Don't keep just spiraling in the soup of those old thoughts. So when I made the decision, and then I applied energy behind it, and I became soul aligned, things started to shift. So let's talk about what that looked like a little bit. So, what I know from being in the psychology field and being in the beauty industry, um, what we really think about is who we really are. How we show up is who we really are until, I think I'm dropping here, until we make that decision with energy. So, I took the decision of being this woman who is unlimited, who shows up in the world taking up space as herself, who is vibrant and juicy and alive. Because another thing, this is an important piece. As we mature as women, we don't really grab hold to this aliveness. We sometimes take the other road of, oh, I'm getting older, this is just how it is. No, 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 we stop that right now. So when I applied energy to, oh, yes, I'm getting older, but oh, I still can be this and this and this and this and this. And I already started to get excited about it. It's kind of like you've ever had some really um forbidden food that you shouldn't be having, like French fries or something that you shouldn't be having, but your mouth starts to water before you eat them. You're like, that's how I started to feel whenever I started to shift. I started to feel like, ooh, I can't wait until, I feel this, I feel myself shifting. So when I would wake up in the morning between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m., some of us go to the bathroom a few times per night. I usually get up around that time for the bathroom. And then because I'm a little bit, groggy, I would start to program my mind. What is this woman like? What kind of clothes does she wear? How does she talk? How does she show up? What does she expect out of life? Who is she? How does she want the next moment to be? And I started to look at that all day long. Am I now in this moment? So I made a post this morning that there are 13 million seconds in a year, 13 something million. I don't remember the amount, and a certain amount of days in a year and hours. If we spend most of our time, if not majority of our time, cultivating ourselves the way that we want, we can have an amazing life. To me, that's so exciting.
Yes, all starts with consciousness. Yes, consciousness and awareness about who we can be. Because some people live and they just think that, oh, this is me, this is just my life, this is what I have. And they even don't allow themselves to think bigger than that picture. Yes, they don't understand that we can create anybody. I mean, we can become anyone we can just think about, because the person who we are now was created by thoughts which we heard when we were small from other people, and we accepted those phrases which we were told, what we heard as the truth. And this is how we created that self-image which now controls our life, and from which we look at the world. It is like the window from which we look at the world and to us. And if we just raise our awareness and understand that we can get above that building, so not just look from that window, but just become like higher from all the buildings, yeah, all the trees, and expand ourselves and just decide, as you said, I like that, like decide who you really want to be, and then become that person. Decide to become that person, because now you're adult, you're not a child anymore, and it is up to you what you think about yourself, what you allow to dream about, and how you can see yourself in your imagination. This is how it will start be projected to the physical world.
Yes, let me add to that. I love what you said about looking through the window, but recognizing that you can come above the buildings. Yes, because you don't know what you don't know. And and then you become stuck because you think it's for the other people, the other lady, the other woman, and it's so far from the truth. And that's why I know that neuroplasticity and rewiring yourself to believe what's possible for those big goals, and you allow that emergence of your new self to come through all day long. And sometimes I even surprise my own self. I'm like, oh, we that's what we're doing next. And then I have to catch up with me. I have to walk across that bridge, and sometimes I'm being pulled across the bridge. And, you know, now that I've had this experience of coming back home to my body and feeling unlimited, I feel like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. So I'm just so grateful for all of these nuances, these little tweaks that I'm having along the way. And that if I even get triggered, because a lot of times you get triggered when you don't realize that you can go to your next level. Even when I get triggered these days, these triggers take me up to that next level. And then I realize, oh, this is exciting. This is exciting. Here is where I am now. I can't wait until where I'm at in 2 more minutes. So when you start to come from looking out the window to coming outside and going above the buildings, it's a whole new world out there. And that to me, my friend, is winning all day long.
Great, great. So you decided to change that heavy masculine energy and shift to the light energy. Yes, and when you shift to the light energy, this is how you just raised above all the buildings, and now you're flying, flying, and you allow your imagination to bring you to new pictures, and you accept them, those pictures, that it is something that is possible. And this, when you accept and you come with this assumption that it is you already, and you look at this as a game, yeah, like a theater, like scene, that you are actor, and you allowed yourself just to play those different roles. And you when you started to go to that direction, you started seeing that this transformation happening, and there is no end.
Oh, and that to me is the juicy, yummy part. That's that part that you're grabbing hold to that and you're saying, I take this and I run with it. I run. I sit at the park with it. I talk on the phone with it. I show up at a beautiful date with it. I eat my dinner with it. I eat lunch with it. It is me. I am embodied in this new place. My question I always ask myself is, why does it take us so long to get here? Why
Yes,
does
so
it take so long?
yeah, it takes for somebody so long, and for somebody it takes all the life, and they even never get there. Yeah, because I think it is more like more related to being hungry for that spiritual awakening, I would say, like understanding that there is not only this body, not only these physical things, that we are like creators, and that we have that power to create everything, and that creation starts from ourselves. Yes, because who we are by today, we are product of our habits and what we believed and what we believe now. And if we decide that we want to be somebody else, and we start believing that that is possible, and we start, when we start believing that is possible, this is how we start being curious. How can it be possible? And then we start thinking about this and listening our intuition, and then how we find that there is like a invisible hand which start guiding us to that place. Yes, and everything starts from being detached from this physical 3D reality, because I think that many people never change and never achieve much bigger results than they logically can think that they can achieve, because they are too attached to this 3D reality. They live from their five senses. They just think that they have to see to believe, they have to hear, touch, and all information which they use to make decision is just coming from their five senses. And this is how they cannot see much big difference. And to get there, what you speak about, it is starting from totally detached from physical facts, what is true for you, and start coming from your high mental faculties such as imagination, intuition, reason, perception, and others. What do you think?
Oh yes. Oh yes. I've had so many divine nudges, divine synchronicities, divine sometimes screaming.
Mhm.
And for that, that has been like the cornerstone of this new ability for me to even show up. Like, getting these intuitive downloads, even when, sometimes I was speaking to my mentor recently and we were talking about fear. And we were seeing that fear, there's not many times afraid of many things. And we are afraid because we don't allow that little space between the thought or the impulse and the action to guide us. So when I get these intuitive hunches or these little nudges, I'm like, oh, I am not alone in this. I am with this energy that is protecting me, that is making sure that I am on the right path for me. Sometimes we're not on our right path because we're either stuck in competition or, living someone else's life. And I'm like, no, as long as I am recognizing who I am and where I am being led and allowing my soul to just take over and trust from a gut level. But we don't trust all the time intuitively because we have been wounded in some way. So that is some of the things that I speak with these ladies that I work with. When we're talking about a limitless woman, we talk about really cleaning up that wounded intuition so we can recognize, oh, that's telling me something. Oh, I need to turn right instead of going left. Oh, I need to go straight. And take that and use it in the moment. Like you said, we're using all of these other senses or trying to get some 3D reality to show us something when we're getting the truth, that internal GPS to tell us exactly what we should be doing, that is connected to us, that we don't need to call a friend. We get all the information right here. I tuned into that, and that was a big changer for me.
Yes, yes, it is so true that intuition is GPS, and it never lies. It always says truth, because it is speaking with us from our higher self, and it knows the future. It is connected to universal mind. It is so much more than just our brain. And unfortunately, people got conditioned to think from their brain how they can do things, think logically, and totally disconnected from intuition. And many people can feel that something telling them don't do that, but they say, okay, I will go what I think is right by my head. Yes, and then they make mistake, and they say, oh, I something I had feeling in my body, something was telling me don't do that. And it it happens all the time that we have that inner GPS, which coming from our best well-being, our best higher self, And we just have to recondition ourselves and start understanding that instead of being in head all the time, we should listen to our heart, because the heart always will tell us the best way how to do, and how to make decisions, even if we don't know how. Yes, this is how people get in the trap. They want something and they don't know how. And because they condition just to know always how, be in their head, they cut that in that desire part, and they just don't allow themselves even think that it is possible. And because they don't know how, they just cut that, and this is how they don't get there. And so many people just live life without being fulfilled, without achieving what they really want, just living very average life and thinking that other people are lucky for somehow. Yes, and that is why, because they're lucky, they achieve success, and they never think that it is not luck, it is just doing certain things in this certain way, and everybody can do that if they really want to live the life with their fullest potential.
Ah, my friend, if we said nothing else, that was a beautiful way to just share it to the world. Because it's not that a person is lucky, they have done certain things. I used to think that myself. I was like, oh my God, they have such an easier life. My life is so easy because I got out of the other stuff. I got out of the mental soup. And I was like, this feels so much better. So, so yes, when I speak to these women, I help them to, number one, I'm them. I know what they're going through. I may be on the other side of it now, but I recognize, I understand what it feels like to want something so desperately, and you are just holding it in, and you don't know how to tap into anything new. And when I help them to recognize their brilliance, their radiance, their ability to be both and not or, it's a game changer. It's like their nervous system goes, ah. Because you know how the nervous system goes. When you are off course, when you get nervous and afraid and scared, everything is out of whack. And that's what we don't want anymore. We want everybody to be in alignment, in deep powerhouse embodiment, tuning into their feminine intelligence, but through feminine leadership. It's different now.
Yeah, and you've said that women don't trust themselves. Let's speak a little bit about this. Why you think women don't trust themselves, and how you would empower them that they can trust, they can gain the trust back.
Ah, yes, yes, my friend. We women, we don't always trust ourselves, and it could be from just one mistake that happened 10 years ago. Who knows? And that thing, that experience was so profound for them until it's all they talk about, it's what they, how they lead their lives, how they show up. That is the constant mental loop that goes on. And that one thing could be controlling anything, any means of going forward. So control meaning causing them to come to a screeching halt, and they can't move forward. And that's what I call stuck consciousness. And stuck consciousness is, you're like, why did I just sabotage that thing? Why did I not trust myself? That one thing that had the highest emotional impact is ruling the show. And when that rules the show, we don't have the self confidence, we lose our self worth, we don't have self esteem, we become pretty much a zombie in our own energy field. And when our energy field is stuck somewhere in our body, because whatever happened to us is stuck somewhere, Could be in our throat, we can't speak our truth. Could be in our heart, we can't love anymore. Could be in our tummy, we have digestive issues. Could be in our uterus, and we have, I don't know, issues with our periods through the month. Could be in our knees, our feet, anywhere. Could be stuck in our body. And then we don't trust them because we don't want to feel those feelings again. But friends, ladies who are listening, in order to get out of not having the confidence to trust yourself, you just have to remember who you are. And what I mean by that is, when we came into this world, we didn't have all of these things and ideas and situations piled on top of us. We have to remove it. It's a beautiful dance to take it off. And all it takes is one little memory of something that you've done well. It's kind of like those French fries that I was talking about, that feeling of excitement. When you've done that one thing well and it lights you up again, you hold on to that feeling. Our problem is we hold on to the past of feelings, and that's why we can't move forward. And that's what I do with women. We get you out of that muck of holding on to the past.
Thank you, Eve. Amazing, amazing what you shared. I am sure that women really appreciate and will use this in their lives. So, before we wrap up this episode, what are three things which you would like to share? Something that really important that you think that the main key things that you would like to share to empower women.
Okay, three. Let's see the three important ones. You are your own guru. When you recognize that, your life will move forward. I'm just a vessel to help you to move forward. But you have powerful potential inside of you. Number two, being vibrant. It doesn't matter what age you are, there is vibrancy in you. Pick and choose accordingly. Don't fall down a slippery slope. And the third one is you hold that vision and you allow yourself to emerge every day of who you want to be. Because when you do that, you're living your life. You're not living anyone else's life. And to me, that's winning.
Thank you so much, Eve. It was amazing conversation and I enjoyed every moment speaking with you. And I hope to see you again in our future episodes.
I appreciate everything. I thank you so much. I felt so beautiful connecting to you. You have such beautiful energy too. And this is not our first time connecting together. I appreciate you reaching out to me and to interview me and helping me to get my message out into the world because I want more women tapping into their 5-star energy and holding the juiciness of a limitless woman.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so much.
Thank you for what you do, Eve. And I am sure that women, after listening this episode, they would like to connect to you, and we will leave your contact details in description to this video.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Speak to you soon.